Whew. Hot SOB here in California. Trying to juggle all my stuff here. Hold on. You can see I'm getting ready. Path's still cut nice. It's only been a couple, probably about 4 or 5 days since I've been down here. I hurt my finger, and so I'm gonna wear some plastic rubber gloves today on that side so I don't get any funky bacteria in it, because you got to be careful of that stuff. All right, so let's see here. Like I said, attempting to juggle all my chingadera. As you can see today, I brought a mini vacuum. Idea from Dan Hurd. I'm sure you guys watch him. The little gold gnome. Alright. So we sneak down. We sneak down. Right this way. Got my suction. Got a bunch of stuff here. Oops. Alright. So, see what I did last time? I was digging right down. Oop, you probably couldn't see nothing. Right down in there. The more I think about it, I kind of feel like, see how this kind of snakes around this way, cuts back, hits that rock, slides this way. I think that little bulge right here, but I think this whole side's probably halfway decent. But what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna get down inside here and I'm going to pick the crack. I'm going to clean off all this moss along the outside with a flat shovel. And then I'm gonna suck the crack, pick out the rocks. You know the drill. I do have the gold sucker, the pump a dump. Ooh, fell on my ass right there. Nice little step. Okay. See, it's that hole I was working last time. A couple things that stood out to me, and this is where I want this bad boy right here. Suck that crack out and see what's going on. I started thinking about it. What is this material? What is this material right here? Because I don't think, that's a boulder and that's a boulder. So that's just got to be old, stuck, decomposing, maybe some rocks and boulders and whatnot, but that's not host rock, I don't think. Oops. There we go. Sorry. Still working on my camera angles.
All right, let me try to do this voiceover a little bit. I'm going to get you caught up a little bit. I did a bunch of work on this boulder, $100. I really didn't find much, but I wanted to put the beginning of this footage so you can kind of see some of the work I've done and opening everything up, because I just kind of quit posting stuff for a little bit. So I will probably do a quick cut here in about right now.
All right, so I'm down here opening this bad boy up so I can get closer to all the dirt that I want to process, which is all located right here. It's been a little bit, but I have some new toys for the process. Yeah, cleaning this up. I'm gonna grab some of this topsoil. It looks really good. And I want to grab it for my garden. And then here, the grand revealing of BAM. Check that bad boy out. So I'll be doing basically scraping layer by layer, hitting it with the metal detector, cleaning the property up a little bit, and hopefully finding a little bit of yellow stuff. This is going to be the true, well, as close as you can get to as close as you can get to a actual prospector's lifestyle, in that the gold I get will be going to pay PG&E and bills and putting food on the table. Yeah, I am broke, but I got land, and I got some equipment. Let's get this done. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this and keep. All right, got a nice little pile of dirt for the garden I've been cleaning. I did do some metal detecting, and here, let's see if I can get it in the sun for you. There we go. I found an old shotgun shell and a piece of wire. So, well, metal detector is working. It's my first time messing around with the metal detector. A lot of work. I'm about 1 day into it, and I literally just got this one little side corner. Oh well, super fun. Ding-a-ling-ding-dang. All right. So, today, I'm going to be getting into this right there. I'm going to be cleaning this out. Obviously, these are some of the rocks that I want to get the dirt around that are down toward the creek. That I'm probably burning out. Got some cutting to do. You can see this has been way overgrown for way too long. And I might go up. That's the crossing right there. There is a, let's see, where am I at? There is a drainage ditch about right there. I might go clean the top end of it out and just dig down and see if there's any color down there. But I did bring a little TD sluice box, so my goal today is pretty much just to get down to the creek, carve a better trail, clean a bunch of this crap out, maybe get a fire, and put the sluice box in, do a little sluicing. Doop doop. All right, same basic shot as this morning, but I have been working, opening up all of that. Now, as you can see all the way down to the creek. Got some piles going. I'm gonna go ahead and walk down here so I could show you more of what I got going on. So for one, I've got these giant boulders. This is one of them right here. This is one of them right here, about the size of a bus. I'm walking on it right now. I pulled the dirt across the top of this, and I'm gonna actually hit it with the gold bug too, just to kind of take a look. There's some really good looking fishing worms in here, so I'm gonna have to bring down a container to catch me some worms. I'm not gonna let them go to waste. But you can see these giant boulders. Now, an interesting feature, as I started cleaning this out, there's another rise right here, and then almost a pit down in here, which might have been some of the old timers' workings. So let me get to basically where you've seen me working before. So this is where I was working before, working that little creek, that little crack right there. I didn't really find squat. A little bit of color, flecks and whatnot. Okay, so basically, and I still can't quite see, there's a nasty little S-hook. It looks like this whole hill embankment sloughed off at some point, kind of from that way. And then, so I want to dig this out in between these two rocks, right, and see if there's anything there. And then this is all the stuff I opened up. So I've got one creek coming in this way, another creek coming in this way. This is the convergence. Snakes around, some big rocks. I mean, giant tree, go dig behind. This is a seasonal creek, and so it won't be running all the time. So I've got some other stuff set up to process a little bit of dirt. But this is it. You can see it's overgrown. It's pretty nasty. But I don't know if you could see down in here. Let me walk over a little closer. This is the area that I think sloughed off. But if you can see, let's see, quartz, 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 round quartz, everywhere, quartz, quartz, every pocket, every pool, quartz, quartz. So I'm really hoping that I could find a seam of quartz somewhere around here on the property. And I'll be, Jeff Williams just dropped, shout out Jeff Williams. He seems to always drop something when I'm actually working what he's talking about. So this morning he dropped, or yesterday morning he dropped something on creeks and streams, and yeah, I'll be taking some of his advice. I'll be dropping the little sluice probably right down in this area here in a minute, and then I'm just going to start shoveling randomly and trying to get a little stuff out. All right. Doop. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I got to show off my find. I think they're onto something with this metal detecting shit. Look at that square nail I just found. Down here by the creek too. That tells me they had some kind of camp around here. This might have been an old camp location, but look at that. Found it just, I'm finding all kinds of junk down here. Pretty sweet, man. I think they're onto something with this metal detecting stuff. I'll definitely, next time I get a pin, I'll go ahead and try to film it. I'm using my tablet, not a regular camera, so it's a little difficult. But dude, big find already. Bingo! There it is. See that little line of gold? Not bad. A little something something. I'm gonna shake it back and get it up there, but I want to get a little close up of it before I suck it up into the bottle. A few little pieces right up in there. Little smile. Not too shabby. All right, showing some of the work. If you remember, that was my old path coming down into it right there. Completely opened up now. My back is feeling it today, so I'm probably going to be doing some metal detecting. But I might come down here and do a little. I've just got my little tiny sluice box. I'll grab my bigger sluice box tomorrow. You can see, got this opened up now pretty good. I want to see what's going on with these giant rocks. And then here is the creek. So this is an inside bend that I'll be starting with, I guess. But you can see the amount of quartz in here. So I basically opened up this whole patch. I've still got to get up and get some that way. But, little fire going. This is interesting. Like this inside bend as it hooks. I don't know. I'm gonna do some metal detecting now. I will come back if I find anything. I did see a bunch of this though. See a bunch of cans I've always seen down here. Now that I found that square nail and I found that shotgun shell head, I'll put pictures in now if I can remember. I think there might have been some kind of camp here potentially. I'm not 100%, but they definitely had something going on. There's also a bit of barbed wire up here. So I will let you know and click back in if I find anything. Burp, deep, deep. All right, clean this up a little bit better before I go to scoop it in. Decent. Only about a 5-gallon bucket of dirt. Not really a lot. I like that little shot up there. Not bad. Not too shabby. Definitely more than anywhere else on that inside bend. That's where to go. So I'm going to clean that. All right. Got the bigger sluice set up. It's a dream mat going on. I'm going to be pulling dirt from that little crook. You can see where that water kind of backfilled. I was working up there yesterday, but I don't want to dump a bunch of stuff and fill this area up. So I just got to re-dig it. So I'm going to start working on this. Yeah. Probably take some footage here in a minute. All right. Got 3 buckets processed out. I've got some lead up in the head, up in there, but I don't see any gold yet. I'm gonna take this back to the house though and wash it there where I could control it a little bit better. Anyways, yeah. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Right there in that hole, I keep going down, down, down. So we shall see. Found some cool rocks though. All right, got it set up pretty good. Could be a little bit better, but it is tricky getting those set right. So I dug down in this hole thinking around the corner of this bend would have been a good spot. And I'm actually off the gold. And so I'm gonna go back to right there. And that's where I hit a decent little patch of it against that bank right there. So I'm gonna go back over there. I'm gonna start grabbing some and start running some dirt. All right, ran 4 buckets. Don't see any visible gold yet. A lot of black sand. I might have been running a little hot. I don't know. I know it is tricky down there getting everything level and getting the water flow right. So we'll see. I was down. Oh, here, I'll show you. Right there. Going down into that hole about 4 feet. Right now, 3-4 feet. So we'll see. I'm gonna take this back up to the house and clean it out. All right, got home, got things cleaned up a little bit. Got a nice little smile right there on the outside. Decent little bits and pieces. I've still gotta run this through the Miller Bowl to get it out all the way, but I'm just kind of collecting stuff right now. But that's, you know, better than I have been getting, so that's something. 4 buckets from that area. I still don't think I'm on it, but yeah, at least a little bit of color. All right, what's going on, YouTube? All right, it is Saturday. I got a little bit of a late start, but I plan to get a little bit done. So here, I'll get up over here. Not finding squat where I'm at. So now I'm going deep in the hole. Jeff Williams just dropped something today, going into basically that hole right there, and then made another little hole right there. He was saying checking the higher banks because gold doesn't move unless it's really flowing. So I cleaned out this area right here and kind of the inside bend as it breaks that way. I did notice there's a bunch of debris, big heavy logs, and it looks like the hillside kind of wears away. There's a pile I made of just debris and logs and crap. So I'm gonna go in there and clean a little bit more, try to open that up, and then I think I'm gonna pull some dirt from right there, right where those heavy logs are, and see if I can get any color. Wish me luck. All right, so you can see, went around, did some metal detecting behind there, didn't find anything. Scraped a bunch across the top of this, didn't really find squat, very few rocks or anything. So I dug down along the side of that trench right there. And then I dug a decent sized hole. Let me see if I can get down in here. Yeah, it's probably about, I don't know, 2 buckets deep. I never hit anything. Never hit what I was looking for. So, yeah, I might go back over here or try to find something down in between these. So, anyway, I don't have much hope for today. The material looked really piss poor, but I don't know, fingers crossed, huh? Bloop. Dumb it. All right. Like I thought, I really didn't get shit, but I did get about 10 pieces of split shot and one little gemstone. I'm not sure what it is. Let's see if I can. This is green right at the base of it. I don't know if anyone can identify that, but kind of cool. Yeah, 2 little specks. Wasn't really crap. I'm still not on it. Better luck next time. 1 month. 1 month. It is taking it back already. Not all the way, but damn close. Look at that. Unbelievable. All right, well, I'm going to get started on some of this today. I'm going to take out a little bit of this brush coming down here and get all this crap redone. I can't believe that. Man. Talk about fighting the jungle. All right. Oh, and spraying with some flea and tick stuff. I don't know what that was. What kind of funky bug that was. All right. Got everything reclaimed a little bit. Opened up a little bit farther over there. The creek's going a little slower than I need it. I did do some metal detecting today. This is where I found that bell donger right here. Didn't find anything else here. Opened some more stuff back up in here. Creek's going a little too slow to actually get a sluice in there. Just barely creaking. But I did fish out. I started digging metal detecting, and I fished out I don't know how many square nails. I'm gonna pull them out of my pocket right now and show you if I can do it without dropping any. Quite a collection of square nails. Yeah, all pretty much from this hole right here. That's where I found that one big square nail, my first one. There's still more too. I just got tired of digging. I'm packing it in, calling it a day. I'm pooped. Anyways, this right here, right in between these rocks, that's where I'm going to be looking next. So you can see, this is that area I was working last year. I had the sluice box in there. This is it kind of overgrown. And this is the hole I'm working. Put you down in here and get you a look. Actually found a real interesting clay layer, or possibly a bentonite layer that I put in the pond. It turned out there was nothing there. But it looks like, let's see if we can get my finger in here. There it is. It seems like there's decent amount in this stuff right here. There's some gold, and then this is a rock right there. I'm trying to get up underneath these boulders. I started getting down inside of here, and I was pulling a little bit out, but I was filling up with water. I'm still kind of chasing it. Anyway, basically, this I'm standing on a rock that slides down into God knows where. So I wanted to grab one more before this creek starts flowing and I get chased out of here. One more round of buckets. But I'm hitting little bits. I'm hitting something. Not Montezuma, but some. Man, this thing is steep. Let me see. Let me turn straight around. It's getting hard to dig on this edge. All right. All right. So, there's the hole. Probably gonna end up leaving it till if his water starts. It's gonna be till next year. Here's what it looks like. And then I'm definitely gonna be hitting some areas higher up, grabbing dirt since I'm panning it out up at home. It's easy for me to grab. I am finding a bunch of cobble, different cobble layers right up in there, and then that weird, like hard packed, decomposed granite. So I was finding little specks in right through there. I was gonna vacuum the rock face right there that I'm walking on, but I had a big chunk come down and pretty much cover up everything I was exposing. So that is gonna have to wait till, till maybe next year. All right, still a little winded. Here, I'll walk up. See if I can not screw this up. Super funny to eat it right now. Alright. See, and that's usually where I set up my sluice right there. And so once the river's going enough or the creek's going enough, I want to start digging right there in that little spot, right around the corner of that bend. There's some decent looking quartz there. Now that I'm starting to learn this place, looks like pretty much the gold's going to be concentrated in the gravel. There's not going to be much in any of the loose stuff. You start hitting some decent quartz, and there's a chance of something. All right. There we go. All right. So, got all that worked down a little bit. What do we have up in that corner? Right there. Look at that shiny. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let's see if I can get a little more water on it. Oh, sorry. I'm new to the hole. That's probably the nicest little pan I think I've gotten. I don't want to lose my pan. Can you imagine sitting here trying to screw with this thing and dump the hole? I'd do something like that. All right, let's see. Pickers. Pickers. No, I don't want to touch them. I gotta suck them up with the bottle. I'll get some more pictures of them later, but that's the first. That's them. That's not bad, and that's the best pan I think I've gotten. 8 buckets. All right, back at the spot. There's a couple days of rain, and so I don't think I hear anything running, which is good. I found some of that chunky gold. I'll post a picture up in there at some point. Probably right around here. Snip, snip. All right, let me try to walk. So let's see how filled in this got. Oh, Jesus. Huh. Well, that's a good amount of water. Shnikes. Huh. Well, oof, I don't want to bail that out. I might have to start on a different area because I thought about bailing that out, but man, I'm right there too. What is that, like 100 gallons? Ugh. I did bring a long shovel. Jeez. All right, the other place I was thinking about trying was going to be, if you can see, let's see if I can shrink this down. There we go. So, see how I'm kind of hitting, let me get my finger in there. See how I'm kind of hitting this bend? This is where it turns, comes around, boom, turns around again. Looks like it goes around this corner and then boom, right there. So if I can't get into here, man, I want to get up underneath this rock. Ugh. I might be able to go in from the top from right here, create another hole. That water shouldn't make it over until I get to a certain depth, and then it's gonna pooch me. But, you know, that's that far. What is that, like 4 feet, roughly? Another thing I was thinking about doing is we had a heavy flood event, and so what I'm been thinking about doing is just taking all this brush on the side here, knocking it off, and then shaking it off in the water and trying to knock off any gold in it, just getting it out of the way. Oh, man, I got my work cut out for me. Thought it was gonna be an easy one too. All right, worked the long shovel for about 3. It's real deep, hard to get to down in that hole, so I moved over to here, pulled a little bit of stuff off this bank, kind of squished it out, knocked out all the dirt in the hole, and then I'm digging around right in this side. I'm actually finding, sorry, just gotta load up. I'm finding some decent, that's usually the decomposed granite that I'm finding stuff in. Little gray layer underneath it. So, decent amount of cobble. Looks like this rock maybe flattens out. Not 100%, but I'll try to get this load and maybe one more from that spot. Just give you an update. Bloop. All right. Not sure how much water is going to be down in there. But I'm going to find out. Let's see. Come in my spot here. I know I need a gimbal. There will be some upgrades as soon as they can be afforded. Oh, damn. Shit. Yeah, I got a pond. Look at that. Huh? Huh. Is this thing running? Okay, it's not running. So that's good. Man, that is a lot of water. I wonder if I can dig this side out a little bit, drain it. Oh my god, that's under about like 6 feet. That's funny. I didn't Ay, sheesh. All right, well, so the I'm gonna have to think about this one. I'm glad I came down here and just took a look at stuff. So it didn't drop. I don't know if you can't really, it's a reflection. There's no way you can see, I bet. Well. Let me try to clean this out, and maybe I can get a little of this water to leave, but I am not very hopeful. I was hoping he'd call out again. All right, back to business. So, this is what I've come up with. Sump pump from a boat, deep cycle battery, long pole, hose. I call it Sumpy. I'm gonna see if it works. I do see this thing running on this other end over here. I see water moving still. Down over, see if I can get a shot down right there. And so that means the creek is officially running. So I'm sort of screwed, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if this little pump thing works. Wish me luck. All right. So I need a little bit longer pole, but this is actually working pretty good. It's not gonna do me much good right now. Zoom in. That's not bad. You know, I'm probably gonna be running into moisture issues with any of the holes I dig at a certain time of year. So this thing might come in clutch when I need it. I'm just gonna let it drain on this for a little bit, but it looks like it's almost filling up as fast as it's draining. But yeah, Sumpy works. Let's see if I can, all this dirt I'm taking from my garden, and that's gonna get me down into right down in there, right there. All right, just got a fire lit. Trying to burn some of this topsoil out. I'm gonna grab all this top from my garden. So I'm gonna burn all this stuff out. And I might get over into that pile, light that one up too. There's all my buckets. This is one of the areas I want to clean out. There's a big old rock right here, the size of a school bus probably. This right here I want to clean out, in between these two rocks and under this kind of hill. So this is completely filled up again. I got about halfway in an hour and a half, so kind of starting it in the morning. Pump works great, so that idea worked fantastic. So we'll see. Right now it is 11 a.m. Check back in an hour or so. Fire's going good. Sort of looks like I might be able to get some of that wet dirt. I was planning on getting garden soil today, but this is getting down to the bottom. Looks like a lot of it sloughed in from the side. Right along this side right here is where I want to get. I don't know how fast it's definitely moving back in. You can see the water coming down right there. Basically underneath this side right here and right up, see where that gravel is? These gravels up in there what I was grabbing. So I'm real tempted. It's gonna be a hard, wet, heavy. Oh, look at that gravel right there. Look at that right there is what I'm looking for. Right down that little b-hole. Look at that. I was all, oh, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I totally am. What are you kidding me? All right. Time to get the shovel. All right. I have been doing some work. So I brought in cut in a little road to get me down closer so I'm not carrying stuff up so far. Rain came through, so I need to put a little more of the decomposed granite. Kind of putting that granite layer down. Makes really good road base. and using all the parts. Dirt goes to the garden, gravel goes to roads, gold goes in the pocket. I'm starting to find a little bit. So I've exposed, digging down, trying to get in between these two rocks right here and expose this rock. You can see I'm getting down into some of that kind of gravelly stuff. And this is where I'm finding the gold. What little gold I am finding. This is where I'm finding it. And that stuff right there. You can see where the rains came through and washed a bunch of this out. Found some really cool features on this rock. I did go up here and pick. Got as much stuff cleared out, but didn't find any. No color. I'm still going. And like I said, this rock right here. So there's a boulder right there that I'm exposing. There's a rock right there. And so I'm hoping there's also another rock right there. So I'm in this triangle is where I'm hoping to, this triangle is where I'm hoping to fit it. You can see I've moved a good amount of dirt back. I'm opening this up pretty considerably. And, oh yeah, look at that. Look at all that sludge. Beautiful. And so I'm trying to target and get up underneath these rocks here too, because I was finding some gold right underneath there, right in that hole I dug. So, getting there. Not really finding much, but like I said, a few specks are coming out of that hole, but it's just down there so deep. When the water wasn't running, I was able to pump it out, go for it, but man, it is rough right now. Anyways,